What can we say? We have just witnessed West Ham at home beat Chelsea 3-2. Yes, you have heard me clear. 3-2. Let me bring this up just quickly. If you jump over that side, down a little bit. That way. No, this way. This way. Sorry. This way. Yep. There you go. You can see a goal from Masuaku to win the game. Bowen with a great goal and a fantastic penalty from Manny Lanzini. This game hasn't ended. You know, everyone's come through it unscathed because we've obviously picked up a couple of injuries. But we're going to go through the game. Dad, give me your immediate thoughts on that performance.
Chelsea pressed us for the first part of the first half. They were pressing quite heavily, and then we kind of...
Come on, Dad, get a bit more lively, son. He's robotic. Robotic. Come on.
The robot.
Come on. What's your thoughts? Come on, what's your thoughts?
Brilliant game. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, good. What do you think? Did Masuaku mean it?
Oh, yes, of course he did. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mendy, there was no one in the box to cross to.
Yeah.
Mendy comes out, he sees the gap, and he puts the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Brilliant for Arthur. Sorry, Still.
Yeah, no, that's not sorry. Still just needs to be more with the times of West Ham fans and West Ham players and backing every single West Ham player. But
Christensen played well against Antonio.
Yeah,
that was a good battle between them two. Yeah. I mean, both big guys.
I think what we saw here is a game where West Ham can show we can compete. Mm-hmm. This is the game that we needed to bounce back.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
because we've obviously been beat from Man City.
Yeah.
We've been beat from Wolves. Well, if you go back to the Wolves game, it wasn't a great performance.
No.
If you go back to the Man City game, it was a better performance, but not great.
But City is still
there. Then you go against Brighton, and you can't help but, even though it's a draw, can't help but feel disappointed.
Yeah, I know. But again, you said it. It's a bounce back.
Yeah,
that was that was a feeling that the broadcasters had as well.
Yeah.
A couple of commentators said that we were bouncing back. We needed to bounce back in this game, and we have bounced back we've beaten out absolutely 3-2.
What a huge performance! That is a huge result for West Ham. We're going to go through. We'll go through the team in a minute, and do all that. But I've sent the link out, so hopefully we'll get people coming in live from the stadium. But it's honestly huge. It's a huge victory for West Ham today. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I think we went, obviously...
I personally was settling for a draw. I was thinking...
You actually said to me at one point, would you accept a draw? I think it was like the 80th minute, because I knew there was 10 minutes to go. And I said, what do you think? And you were happy with a draw.
I would have taken the draw, at that point. Yeah, very much so.
I think most of us probably would have. Get it in the chat and let us know.
But we underestimated Arthur.
We underestimated.
Arthur was the boy.
See, to be honest, I think if you look at the chat and even us as fans, we probably underestimated West Ham.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, Mendy's been one of the best goalkeepers this year within the league, if you think about it. And yet he was caught out there. Well, I think he was caught out anyway.
Yeah. I think it's just a good way to bounce back. And that's what it is. We've got 3 points over the line. We're going to go through the game itself in a second, and hopefully we will get some people coming on from the stadium very, very shortly. Let me jump into the chat and see what people are saying, though, before we do that. Crosshammer saying, what a result. I'm crying with happiness. I don't blame you. Frank Butcher gives us the irons. Long Dark Tunnel saying, we are massive. We are. Father Snowman, everywhere we go, West Ham are massive. We are massive. Long Dark Tunnel, King Arthur. Do you know what? We will go through the game, but use comments deserve to be up on the camera. Narky, afternoon all. What a time to be alive. I love West Ham. Frank Butcher, that's what you get for stealing Lampard and Joe Cole off of us. And Glenn Johnson, you can name the rest.
Yeah.
Narky, I'm sure Arthur said this for you still. Johnny Hammer, let's hope that settles Arthur down. He has a great attacking ability, but not a left back. Ironclad Stell's now in the club shop having Masuaku's name put on his shirt. GP saying Stell's just been tasered by the stewards for not celebrating the Massa goal. Frank Butcher's having a right good old giggle to himself. They haven't got more than one goal per match in the last 50. Haven't conceded more than one goal per match in the last 53 matches. Then West Ham showed up and we gave them 3. We are massive. Do you know what? It's a valid point. Did you know before today's game, Chelsea had only conceded 6 goals in the competition?
No, I didn't know that. No, I mean, and first of all, 3 past them. Brilliant.
Past them one goal. So absolutely huge, Frano. Absolutely huge. Stell's in the Queen Vic tonight. Drinks are on him. Absolutely. Howard Ailes is laughing his head off. Vinay saying Stell will get a Masuaku tattoo on his forehead. I am sure of it. He's got a big enough forehead with that big quiff he's got going on in his hair. Spencer Burrows, don't know what DM said at halftime, but wow, come on, you Irons. Long Dark Tunnel saying Stell's at the tattoo shop. Canal, typical West Ham, cannot beat Brighton, but we turn over Champions League winners. You know what? In the last, hold on a minute. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, we've just beat Liverpool and Chelsea.
Yeah, I know. What's wrong with that?
I mean,
sets us up to Europa.
Do you know what? I'm gonna ask you a question because obviously you come from a very successful line of West Ham fans. You've seen us win many things. You've seen many good teams, exciting West Ham teams in your lifetime. But what do you? We're going to go through the game in a second, but this is we're going through nearly 2 years of consistently performing. So even though we hit dip of form, we pick up again and we consistently perform. We're sitting third in the form table of 2021 in the whole of the Premier League. Man City and Chelsea are above us. What do you put this team? Of course, you want to win something. I know, not really particularly against the FA Cup, but if you think about the times we've won cups, we've maybe had not a great season after or not a great season before, but we're rolling on nearly two years of constant performing.
Yeah, I know. Are you actually asking me what I feel about this team against?
What do you feel about this team? Is it one up of them up there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we deserve to be there. I mean, I don't think it's any fluke on this team. Moyes has done brilliant. He's come back. He's just transformed the team. You have to give it to him. And I think we've settled into a rhythm now. Again, this game today will show that we can turn up against the best and beat the best, and then we move on from that. And try and take that into each game coming up. I know that's the cliche thing, wait for the next game, but in actual fact, this will be the momentum I think that we need to take us through to the next games.
But when I said to you about comparing the teams, it's not really about comparing the teams. No. Where does this team sit in your all-time West Ham team as it currently stands? I know we've not won anything, but I don't know in my lifetime as a West Ham fan if I ever saw this level of consistency over 2 years. And in actual fact, I could questionably ask you: have you ever saw consistency over 2 years?
No, not in this recent period. No, I mean I go back obviously to the teams that won everything. Well, not won everything, but whenever we were winning, that's the teams I saw. So it's difficult to make a comparison. But if you look in the last couple of seasons, yes, consistency. He's definitely brought something to the club again. That I think they attribute Moyes down to hard work, putting everything out there on the pitch. He doesn't like it if somebody's not putting it out there. And I think when you think back to how he was at Everton, it was a very similar pattern that he plays with West Ham that I saw when he was managed Everton. Teams that I mean, if you go back to teams that I saw, I mean, I loved the McAvenny era with Tony Cottee. Obviously, that was a brilliant team. I go back obviously to 60, 65. I go back to see what.
Well, it's not history one. Come on.
What do you want a history? You want a history?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, no. So I think. What do you want me to say?
So it's good.
It's good. Of course, it's good.
You go. See, I had to speed them up out there. Sorry, everyone.
I'm not
Raymond, boom. Frank Butcher, what a second half, still buzzing. GP saying 3-2, and still is in Anton's hands like putty. You've nail in the head, GP. I have him all under control. That was an amazing game from Vinay. Top 4, baby. We are moving, Markar. You can see that again. Top 4. That 14 games into the season. Talk to me.
I know. Champions League position. That's what we need. Yeah. That's consistency now. This performance maybe taking us on to Europa League, obviously. And then if we could hold what we've got, and you've mentioned consistency. Why can't we be consistent? Why can't we stay in the top 4?
It's not me that really talks about consistency. The one who talks about it is David Moyes. He came in and he said from the start, I want to build this team. I want to bring in the young players. I don't need to sign big, crazy transfer fee players. I need to work on this molded team. But do you know what you saw today? You saw squad rotation.
Yeah, squad rotation.
And it's worked.
Yeah, the only thing that would worry me a little bit there would be if Antonio was to get an injury there.
Well, he's not the one we need to worry about now because Zuma's come off injured and so is Ben Johnson. How do you feel about that?
No, I'm disappointed there, obviously, because Zuma is all powerful at the back. I mean, he just gets the ball away. He's strong. But my point to you there is, if we're going to go forward in the new year, we must get someone in at the strike level. We've got to get another striker in somewhere along the line. And it's just purely if anything does happen to Antonio. You saw that today how Zuma quickly pulled up with his leg like that. Well, that can happen to Antonio, and then we've lost our striker. We've lost our main thing. On saying that, Bowen today was unbelievable.
was
He just
outrageous.
backward, up the front, scored a fantastic goal. Lanzini put away a beautiful penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. How they don't like it up them, they don't mandate man of the match. Absolutely. Howard Hale's saying, "All right, Dad." Talk to you. My bulldog is happy. Right, Bonzo, King Arthur, absolutely. Neil from Down Under. Vinay saying, "Masu Argumenta, he saw the space and the keeper." See, I think he did. I think there's an element of that he did.
No, he did, yeah.
Because there was no one in the box.
There was no one there.
And he held on to the ball for so long. And Mendy then went in the shape. I think, it is giving it to him, but I think he meant it, absolutely do. What a game.
There was a gap. There was a definite gap. When you look at Mendy coming out and the gap was there, and he filled the gap with the ball. Got the goal. Brilliant.
Vinay saying West Ham look like a top 4 team. Yeah, do you know what? When the going gets tough, the tough gets going, and West Ham stand up to the opposition and actually, you know what? You go hell for leather. You go toe to toe. Yes, Chelsea had a lot of possession in that game. In actual fact, I'll get the stats up for it. But what are you going to say, Dan?
Well, I'm saying if you look at the way that Chelsea were playing against us in terms of man marking, I mean, Bowen had someone on him all the time, 2 players on him all the time, and yet he managed to come through with a great game as he did. Christensen was good for them against Antonio, and again we stood up and made that count, even though Antonio didn't come out on top today, but he had a hard battle there, him and Christensen. But when you got someone like Arthur, who can just steal the game like that, what more do you want?
Absolutely. I think, I've got the possession stats up here. So Chelsea had 64% possession to West Ham's 36. They had 19 chances. West Ham had 11. We had 5 on target. They had 7. We had 6 off target. They had 4. Their passing success rate was 85.5%. Ours was 75%. So we need to work on our passing success rate. I think that's something that I've noticed in the last 3 or 4 games. I know we've won the game today, but I think Moyes will be looking at the positives and looking at the negatives. There's a few negatives. Absolutely, there's no ifs and buts about it. There are negatives today because of injuries. That's big. That's big negatives. But we can also now think, well, do you know what? We got over the line. We got the 3 points against a tough opposition.
And if you think about it, in the games of recent times when we've always been praising that Fabianski, didn't really have that much to do today.
He didn't actually. You know, the more you think about it,
look at that and you say, well, that's all to us. Power to us. When Fabianski has a quiet game, that means that obviously it shows the performance that we've put in today.
Yeah, absolutely, great performance. Mark Thomas is saying now we need to think about the injuries. Absolutely, of course we do. It's vital. I think what we're going to have enough. We've got a lot of games to play in December. We've got enough in our tanks to keep us going to the January window. But what it does do is probably, with Ogbonna out and depending on what the injury is to Zuma. Hopefully it's not as bad as we first think. But what it does mean is, and it was probably going to be a priority to bring someone else in, but now we've got a month to see what other players are capable of doing. We've got Baptiste in the wings. We've got Alessi in the wings. I think we'll see them against Zagreb on Thursday. I think we'll get to see what they're capable of doing. And if one or the other can step up, then there's no harm in putting one or the other in the subs bench and allowing them to maybe step up to the plate, because I think they are capable of doing it. And you want to see the young blood brought through, don't you? You want to see them.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course we've got Ben Johnson, who's limped off. We don't know how serious that injury is either. We'll have to wait and see what comes out of it. But it's not great when you pick up injuries, but to think you can go through a whole season. I think it was it Leicester when they won the league. I think they pretty much went through the whole season without really any major injuries. Now we're starting to slowly but surely, the injuries are kicking into West Ham's team. But it's maybe for us, it's not ideal, but the amount of games, but the timings. Well. If this had happened in September, I would be more concerned than I am now. It's happening on the 4th of December, because we've got 26 days left or 27 days left of this month. Then we can actually go ahead and work on bringing in any players that we actually need to. Marcus Lieb. Oh, you've got a boy called Joey as well. Good man. Jinxed it for him and the wife. Both Chelsea fans really claiming the bragging rights in the Lieb household. Get in. Absolutely. It's official. Jared Bowen just said we're massive on BT. Did he say it? Oh, I wish I'd heard it. Trev Tube elated. What a result. So many comments. We're loving it. Arthur gave Mount the keys to Stratford. What a moment of magic. He's tried that in Europa before. He has actually. Yeah, you're right. He has. Vinay Lanzini add that bit of conviction and aggression, which others go. Do you know what? I'm going to put it on to you. Thoughts on Lanzini's performance today, considering he's come back into the side to start?
Yeah, no, I think he has. He's come back and played a little bit like the old Lanzini, and confidence when he took the penalty as well. It was a beautiful penalty, and I think he's starting to show the talent that we've always known he's had, but it was in quiet perhaps for the last season. But now he's coming back to form and he's playing well.
Yeah. Lee is saying left foot in, left foot out. You do the okie dokie and you turn around. That's what it's all about. Oh, okie dokie, okay. Reese is saying we are massive. Come on, you Irons. Bowman was immense, as was Rice. May have to bring some kids through now. It was a great game from Neil from Down Under. Thought we'd blown it from Ironclad. Good time to be a West Ham fan. WHU just caught the last 10 minutes being at work. Did I miss anything? Oh, you missed everything, mate. Reese Bowen or Lanzini, player of the match. Tough, but I would have to say Bowen, to be honest. And then Lanzini is a close second. I genuinely think... Bowen for work rate, but Lanzini's work rate was great. But I actually thought Lanzini's ability to hold the ball in the middle of the park was really clever. And you said it, Dad. Like, every single time we got an attack, I mean, Antonio in the first half never stood a chance because they put 3 players on him. I think Rudiger in particular from Chelsea was all over the players and causing them so much concern. And he was willing to give away fouls. And that's exactly what happened. Revo lost my voice, absolutely. Mendy got broke-a-day. I don't know what that means. Anton, when you asked, I said go for the win. You did, mate. Mendy was caught out twice. What a result. West Ham are massive. Mendy had a shocker. Bowen was immense today from Neil T. Vinay saying final Masuaku's moment of madness went in our favour. Mark R. The game was a rollercoaster ride with a beautiful ending. It was. Lee Vasallo saying we are massive. Fortune always hiding. Come on, you Irons. What a great game. Keep the faith. Adam Cook, we are massive. Horns was at Chelsea where Wade they measured and they found wanting. Gary J, happy birthday for yesterday. Bowen, what a player. I also thought Rice and Sufal were great. Lee, I just pulled a hamstring jumping around that front room. Absolutely, mate. I think we've pulled everything under the sun, haven't we? P. Gads, can't blame Fab for an open header from Mount Volley in the box. Great victory. Costly, but great. Yeah, it is costly, but it is getting 3 points over the line. And I totally trust what he's doing, what Moisey's doing. I've got a lucky catch, sat the lap twice, and we scored both times scared when I cheered. I think Joey might have been my lucky charm there today. Really hope Zuma is all right. We'll have to wait and see there. And yeah, do you know what, Howard? He made a valid point. Did you see it when Moyes gave a note over to Rice? I'm intrigued to see what the note was. Written on the note for Rice. Go and win this. We are massive. I could actually picture that. It's a good point. You've given me an idea for a post. I need to message one of the guys from West Ham Network. Lucky boy, he's really good at that. In our last game, we had 6 scoring chances to Brighton's 1. Today was similar, low possession, but outchanced the opposition. Absolutely. Reminds me of the mid-80s, Tony Cottee glory days, coming third in the league. That looked a bad injury for Zuma. Hopefully not. He was outstretching, he was tackling, he was kind of guiding the ball out against Lukaku. And we stopped Lukaku.
We did.
Oh, my God.
When I saw him warming up, I thought, oh, my God, he's coming on there now. He's going to do something. But I love Lukaku.
Yeah.
Player, but we stopped him today.
Kevin, thank you so much for the donation. It's really kind of you. Massive opportunity at points. We only had 2 matches against top 10 sides between now and February's end. Come on, you Irons from Pennsylvania, USA. Again, thank you very much for the kind donation. Rob J, I'm 56 and this is the best group of players as a team in my time. Yep, and yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hope Zuma is okay. Anton, my microphone is playing up. Is it playing up? I hope it's not. Maybe it's because I've been jumping around like an absolute maniac. Tell me if that's better now for you all. Vinay saying 6 points from the top. We don't just roll over anymore. Look, Billy King, massive. We are Masuaku. We stuck that blue flag where the sun don't shine. Adam Cook, man, Antonio turned up second half, but still need a new striker. Bowen and Lanzini, both great. Bowen, man of the match. Words, massive. Masuaku, we're still. Everyone's digging him out. Lucas saying Jim's a legend. There you go. So many comments, but let's get into the game a little bit. Right, so the starting lineup from West Ham was as follows. I'll play this little video for you. lineup. So when you saw it, Benny didn't make the team as what was expected. Moyes went with a back five. He played Dawson. He brought Diop into the side, and he played Zuma in a back three central defenders. Johnson out on the left as a wing back, and Sufal out on the right as a wing back. Suchek and Rice protecting the back five, playing, and then you had Bowen in on the right, Lanzini in on the left, Antonio up top. What was your thoughts on the change of formation?
I thought, you see that the result of the change of formation says it all, does it not? I mean, that's the way he wanted to play it. That's the way he played it. He had to be a little bit, how can I say, a little bit conservative at the beginning, and they did high press us in that first half, but we held out, and I think that proves the decision he's made is bang on. To be honest, it really was.
It really was. I
think when you got someone like Bowen who's getting back, going forward, making chances and stuff, and the way he was doing that, and we got a couple of breaks from that, makes it all the better.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no ifs and buts about it. When you look at the Chelsea lineup, you saw they've got strength and depth. They've got quality players in and out of that team. But the game itself, I mean, we went into the first half. There was a couple of chances really for both sides.
Havertz played well. I thought Havertz played well for Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, he was finding space. I think what I found, particularly maybe in the first kind of 10, 15 minutes, was there was chances for both sides. In the opening stages, and it was a good battle of a game. And I think you then saw this was going to be a proper London derby.
I think so. Yeah, it was. And as I said there, I think when you looked at, I was looking at the comparisons between, say, Antonio's battle with Christensen and then Havertz up the front there as well, and he was doing really well, and I was a bit worried there for a bit. However, we contained him, and I think that backs up the starting formation when we've actually. Because he's starting to play well, Havertz, a little bit. He's got the promise, and he's got the technical ability. But I do feel that we set up there and played him out of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. 9 minutes in, Chelsea had another chance, Jay, and then 10 minutes in, it was a save from Fabianski. I think Reece James got himself into a good position, and he tried to whip the ball into the bottom left-hand corner, but it was a kind of routine save for Fabianski. Then West Ham had a couple of chances, and it was pretty much end-to-end there. Fair play to Declan Rice, though. He was kind of really keeping us in that game. His work rate's phenomenal, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Yeah, he's unbelievable. I mean, you see him. He can just. I don't know how he does it. How he gets into tight positions and he can and gets out of the tight positions and drives forward. Yeah. It's unbelievable. When he starts to drive. To be fair, on their side, Rudiger was doing a similar thing. He was driving forward the same way as well.
I felt like in particular, we were actually struggling with to contain Rudiger, or he was completely blocking any of our attacks. But Chelsea's kind of tactics in the first half in particular was anytime West Ham come into your half, ram them with bodies. Because every time Bowen came forward, every time Sufal came forward, every time Lanzini came forward, every time Antonio came forward, there was literally 2 or 3 players on them immediately with immediate effect.
Rice has got the ability he'll take them players on, and he's got the ability to turn them, move, do something or other, and get out and then drive forward himself. He's got that unbelievable ability.
Absolutely. We skip forward to the 29th minute when it was a goal. Thiago Silva, he just shakes off Antonio. I don't know what happened there. I think Antonio just could have dropped his head for a second, lost vision of the ball. And I think, to be honest, Thiago Silva's reaction was a bit like, I can't believe I actually got that over Antonio.
I don't think he completely saw that. To be fair to him, he saw that gap. He saw that gap there where in the air. And he just went for it there, and he just put his head in at the right point. But he did see it. Yeah.
And he done the right thing. He done what everyone wants to do. He into the ground and put a bit of pressure on it there. But it was a good goal. Thiago Silva got a shot. They went 1-0 up. It wasn't ideal, but I was disappointed, and we didn't know how we were going to react to that. But very quickly, we went on the attack, and that man who scored the goal for Chelsea cleared it off the line from a fantastic shot from Sufal. I mean, fair play to him. He's 37 years old, and he's at the top of his game.
He was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. We fast forward to the 38th minute when there's a back pass from Jorginho. He plays it back to the keeper, Mendy, and instead of clearing it, he takes a touch. By the time he takes a touch, Bowen is on him. Bowen has put the pressure on him, and then he tries to take the ball out wide. Bowen skips in, collects the ball, and Mendy pulls him down. Stonewall penalty.
Stonewall penalty. Yeah.
And And then
it's a bit of a surprise to me because I said at the beginning there with Mendy being considered to be one of the best goalkeepers on form in the Premier League just now, and then he made a couple of mistakes today. That's put him down.
There's Jay, your granddaughter and my niece is in the chat. She's saying hi, Grandad.
Hi, Jay.
But then Lanzini steps up and takes the shot, and it's deserved, isn't it? He's you know what? Fair play to Lanzini. He's got. Oh, here we are. I think we're going to have. Let's see. Wait for him to. Oh, hold on a minute. Can you hear us? Okay, Russ. Russ, if you can hear me, I'll keep you in the background because it might take a little while for it to kick in and catch up with us. So we'll carry on. We're going to be going live to Supporters Club soon. It might take a little while for the reception to kick in, but we'll let them put some money in the meter and continue. But fair play to Lanzini. Lanzini massively deserved that, didn't he?
But he's skillful.
Yeah.
He's getting that back. Confidence, and although it was a Stonewall penalty, someone's still got to step up and take it.
Yeah,
and he did.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
A very cool penalty.
Making it 1 each. Again, chances for either half, but then just before the halftime whistle, you think we're going to see it out into halftime, and Mason Mount steps up with a fantastic finish from a cross. I think it was Ziyech's looping cross at the near post, and it's a first-time effort from Mason Mount to score. And you could really say there's Fabianski probably could have got to the ball, but hey ho, that's just the nature of what we.
Is that what you did the other day?
No. Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Right, on you go. I'll pass it to you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Listen, I'm gonna put you on the screen, and I'm gonna start throwing up. I'm gonna throw up so many comments, and all these comments are for one man and one man only.
Okay.
Stelios.
Let's talk West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham 3, Chelsea 2. Man of the match performance from Steliakos. Arthur Steliakos.
Arthur Masuaku, who just had a storming performance. I knew all along that he would score. The minute he came on that pitch, I said, Arthur's going to score the winner from halfway line.
And he meant that. He meant the goal. I was talking. I saw I was delayed. I'm going to drop a name. I was talking to Dean Ashton when I was walking back. And,
here we go. Name dropping.
And I said, Dean, and I said, he meant that. And he went, whatever. And Paul Konchesky meant that goal in 2006, the FA Cup. So
Konchesky did mean it. There after it went in, it went.
What more can I do? What more can I do? You know when Di Canio scored that goal at Wimbledon? Couldn't do no more. That was to you. I swear, he looked to you.
He looked at me and he went, "There you go, Stelios," and he told me to F off.
Did he? Yeah. Although Cess, I noticed that Cess was obviously West Ham Network. No Cess. He was chatting to Thomas Suchek at the end. I took a picture. I'll show you. Yeah, because he went in back. Right, let's talk about the game. Thoughts about? I mean, it was just one of those games, wasn't it? Just like.
Well, we thought in the first. You know what worries me every time David Moyes changes the formation, you kind of think, well, he's given the opposition too much credit. You know, we're going to sit back.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened in the first half.
Yeah.
They went a goal up. We did well getting the goal back, but their second goal, I know Johnson is injured now, but their second goal was cracking. It was a brilliant goal.
Fair play. It's one of those goals we just couldn't do nothing about it. The ball came across. Mount didn't break his stride on the volley. Didn't even hit it hard.
Because everyone around me was saying, "Johnson, where are you?" And then they saw he was on the floor.
Fair enough.
But I'll tell you what, second half was a completely different game. And do you know the irony? The irony with Zuma coming off, and I know Zuma came off, quite a bit later in the second half. We had to go 4 at the back, which meant that we had to go further forward.
Yeah.
And I don't understand Moyes giving too much respect to other teams to go 5 at the back. There's no. We've been playing 4-2-3-1 all season. And every time we've tried 5 at the back, it hasn't favoured us.
It's almost like we've got to adjust to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but I tell you what was funny. I don't know, because I was obviously watching it. Anton probably picked it up because he was watching it on telly. When Ben Rama came on, Moyes wrote a little note to Ben Rama, passed it to Ben Rama. Ben Rama went and gave it to Thomas Souček. Thomas Souček went and gave it to Declan Rice. Declan Rice read it.
Three at the back.
Three at the back.
Yeah.
Put it in his short. Put it in his shorts.
No.
Yeah,
What he
Declan
actually
was told
said
to go
was-
through at the back.
What he said
What did he
was,
say?
He said, "We are fucking massive."
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. Apparently, David Moyes wrote "We are fucking massive" on it instead of three. I thought it was "I love you." I thought it was a little love you. Oh, look at that. The loving. Go on, Arthur. That's it. Go on,
You absolute piece of absolute rubbish. But well done, mate. You know, when he scored, we were standing there. He got the ball, and now we were all going, "What's he going to do with it?" He's just standing there with the ball. No one's coming to him, and he thought, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll cross it over to nobody." Mendy had a shit game. Mendy had a shit game.
From minute about 2 or 3.
They've done a really strong bit of analysis.
Wiggy.
They've done a really strong bit of analysis after the game. I'm sitting here even with my dad, and I actually think Masuaku meant it. I genuinely think he meant it.
I thought he meant it. Too.
He did not. Look, listen to me right now. He did not mean that.
Well, I actually thought that he hit it with the outside of his boot. And
He looked up.
he looked up and he saw the keeper was a bit more central than he should have been.
Yeah.
And then beat him at the near post.
He had a
Giving
shocker.
credit where credit is absolutely not due.
Mendy had an absolute shocker from about minute 2 or 3. He looked absolutely dire.
Go on, Wiggy. Tell us.
Go on, Wiggy. Tell us your thoughts.
Well, for me, first half we weren't in it. We had little glimpses, and what their keeper was doing for the penalty, nobody knows.
There was a couple of times, wasn't it, when that first half where he took a extra touch, or they were too casual at the back, and so that's why we have to pressure that. We don't pressure enough. Like a goalkeeper.
When Bowen scored, I was convinced their keeper was a hammer because he sort of put his arms up like this and let the ball bounce over his arm. Because for me,
is a hammer.
La 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 la.
For me, he should have saved it.
Mendy had a bad.
He had a bad game.
It was a cracking.
Yeah, and
finish,
he went through Christensen's legs as well.
Yeah,
so maybe he was a bit. He wasn't. I'm not.
But then, just before we scored the third goal, Bowen had an opportunity. He whacked it way over. I mean, it was probably an easier chance than the goal he scored.
And I think he missed one at the far post as well, didn't he?
Yeah. It was one of those days where it was. Yeah. Chat, we'll let them talk to each other. No, I just thought, and I'll tell you what, one person I was really happy about for winning that game was Declan Rice, because he looked like, that's it, it's almost like he had the team on his shoulders yesterday. He really took it.
But I thought that Bowen pulled his, Bowen pulled his laces up at half time and just took that game.
Really did.
And you look at Rice and you begin to expect it.
Yeah,
because he's different grade.
It seemed today Rice was like, and he was like so wanting to win that game.
Declan.
Yeah, he was like proper. I thought he was really like.
What apart from giving them the ball when they scored their second goal?
Yeah. And Antonio giving the ball. I thought Declan Rice
should have been dropped today.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You thought Antonio should have been dropped?
Yes.
Well, I just think.
Don't lie, because that's what you said yourself. Don't lie.
I will tell you what I actually said.
You said Antonio.
There was a point during the game where I thought that perhaps they should take Antonio off, push Souček up front, and stick Noble in alongside Rice. And it might have made it a bit more solid, but we seem to get around it with Bowen and Rice.
The thing is, Moyes will never drop Antonio.
No.
There's certain players he will never drop.
No.
But he was very, very tired at the end.
He was, but I think
Antonio was tired before the game started.
he seemed to, like, about 60 minutes. He seemed to turn up. He seemed to hold off a bit more, but his passing was just quite.
He created one chance. I don't know when it was, but when Fornals was on, he created one chance, and Fornals had to slide and didn't quite reach it. And that's the Antonio you want to see. Throughout the whole game. Unfortunately, as you just mentioned,
a lot of people in the
it
chat,
takes
Russ,
him.
if you can hear me, Russ. A lot of people
definitely,
saying that Antonio
But you see,
was
Rice is
fantastic
world
in the second
class.
half, and I think he was really
Have we
good
got somebody
in the second
coming
half.
in?
Better in the.
But loads of people in the chat are saying
thought he was
that
all right in the
Antonio
second.
half.
I don't think he wasn't fantastic. He had better spells in the second half than he did in the first. He had better spells.
What I thought was interesting was Moyes. You saw Moyes several times shout at him and push him into the middle, because he went no. like trying to stay up in the middle, be in the middle. The amount of times you drifted out, chopped in, there's no one there because that's his job.
But you just saw with Bowen. Bowen is becoming world class.
Oh, he's when he's on it.
You can see why sides like Liverpool are looking at him.
Yeah,
and because he would do the job that Mane does for them, bar the goals.
Yeah, good point. Great point. Particularly if the AFCON happens, then
yeah, they were. Bowen would slot into Liverpool's side. You can see that.
That's right.
Because of the energy that he has, and we don't want that.
That's why Klopp keeps tapping him up publicly.
But you can tell Moyes wanted this one today because he was in shirt and tie today. Shirt and tie, Moyes. That's when I know he switched, because it's like last week he was in tracksuit and today shirt and tie. Martin, come in, Mark. Excuse me. Cheers. Martin Godliman, the voice of the stadium. How are we doing?
Goal for West Ham. Scored by number 26. Arthur Masuaku! Sorry. Still in the game.
Still in the game.
I'm still a bit in the game.
Still in the game mode. Second half, different team.
I just caught the end of the conversation there. This is how I saw the game. Bowen was the difference between the two sides because he showed pace, acceleration, determination. He rode tackles, low centre of gravity. We know they call him the fake nine. He looks more like a striker than I've ever seen him look like a striker. Fabulous finishing. And let's face it, you may recall a similar chance against Brighton when he broke through, hit the ball, and it went across the goal and it bobbled away. And when you saw the shot from behind the goal, you saw that it started off going into the corner but bobbled away. But the difference was, if you look back at that Chelsea game, the Chelsea goal, today, watch the ball as it comes to him. He hits it straight away. He doesn't take a pace, and that's why Mendy can't make it.
A good point.
Mendy can't make it.
Do you think we've got a few players in our team where if they don't think about what they need to do, when they're instinctive,
you've got to sit. You've got to sit. That was the difference between the first half and the second half. In the second half, Antonio, I totally agree with you up until about an hour. Antonio was a different player in the last 30 minutes. And if you think about Antonio being a player who gets tired and he's carrying around all that weight, it's all muscle, and we know muscle's heavier than fat.
That's my excuse.
The doctor's here. I think for him to have had this second, he was flying on adrenaline only in that last half an hour. And there were 2 or 3 moments. Again, if you're lucky enough to have the whole of this game to watch back again, watch Antonio, watch his distribution, watch it. The ball comes up and he thinks, I ain't jumping for that. And you see it several times when he might win, but he knows it's a 50-50. Yeah. When he knows he can get it, he goes. Antonio is very intelligent at using his own strength, his power and his energy. He does not waste his energy. And watch this, because he is such a brilliant manager of his own skill and talent. But
isn't that sometimes to the detriment of the way we play?
And wasn't it in the first hour of the game?
It was.
But it was a different game. West Ham suddenly started to believe. And I would say the moment that happened was Bowen's goal.
Yeah.
Because he hits the ball early and Mendy's like, oh shit. Yeah. And you can see, if you could get a camera in on Mendy's eyes as Bowen hits the ball in that split second, Mendy knows he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
He's not going to get there.
And he could have gone and almost straight away, literally 2 minutes later, Antonio crosses the ball and Bowen just outstreaks half a yard out.
Bowen is that they're playing such a difficult game at West Ham because we're playing the possession game, letting the other side have the possession. And when you're letting Chelsea have the possession on your own pitch, that's a game. Look at Mason Mount. He was magnificent today.
Yeah, he was.
He was probably the best player on the pitch, but West Ham shut him down.
Yeah.
And Rice has got the thing that what he lacks in pace and skill, he makes up for in thinking. You see his brain. You can see as he gets the ball. He's look. What can I do? What can I do? I've got it's like a poker hand, isn't it? You've got this shitty hand. What am I going to do? I can still win with this hand. I can bluff. He does a bit of bluff.
There was a lot of turning and ducking and diving today. From
Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, of course you
You're
can.
going to have to bleep me out.
Go on, it's live.
So I beg your pardon. Yeah, can you go retrospectively bleep some of that out?
Yeah.
But so Bowen hammers man of the match. The moment of the match was his moment.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about Masuaku's goal. If you think about how Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Spurs, these are teams who over the decades get the breaks, get the little bits of luck, and usually against West Ham. Today, it was our turn. It was our turn. Masuaku and Antonio, what are they going to do in the corner of the pitch? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're knocking it around backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. Masuaku looks up and he thinks, well, let's try a cross.
Leave
right here.
I'm glad you said it was a cross.
But let's try a cross. And as it leaves his foot, he says, actually, should we call that a goal? Let's call that a goal. Let's call that a shot. Let's call that a shot. And Mendy, again. Mendy's had 2 moments. If that guy has any problems, any atrial fibrillation problems, he must have taken it close today because he had 2 moments. One was the moment when Bowen hits it, a step before he thought he would, and the second one is Masuaku. Shit, that's going over my head. I haven't covered.
It didn't even go over his head.
It just went.
It went to the side.
Went to the side.
Going out.
He was going because he was going away, so it was like that one.
I think he still even fancied himself to be able to knock
reach
it around
it,
the post, but it had a bit of swerve on it. We can all hypothesize
it was
as
the
to
best
why.
shit miss hit ever.
You can hypothesize as to why it had a bit of swerve on it.
Because he missed it.
And 9 times out of 10, you'd go, oh, Chelsea are still going to get a third, but I knew they weren't coming back.
Yeah.
Because there's that what is it, that 90% talent and that 10% thing that wins the game, which is belief.
Yeah.
Belief.
But that goal went in.
We've got it back now.
Yeah.
I think after today's game, we've got it back because I think the belief was beginning to sap away. Whereas today, this result has got to push us on. It's got to push us on. John. Sorry, just Wiggy, John, Wiggy, whoever.
One final point I want to make.
Final thought.
We suffered at Wolves, and John and I were at that game, and you were all at that game. Apologies for suggesting for a moment that you wouldn't have been. But I thought West
Someone had
Ham
to steer the ship.
Was Moyes wearing the tracksuit for the Wolves game?
That's what I told you.
If he'd been wearing the suit and tie, because I was thinking,
business.
even at half time, I was thinking, I've seen this before. We come on in the second half, we knock 3 in, and we walk it.
I don't know if you
Shirt and tie.
realise that Moyes had a tracksuit on in the first half and a shirt and tie on in the second.
For this game, yes, that's beautifully put. Can we just make that the final comment on the game? The final comment on the game. Tracksuit first half, shirt and tie second half. It's been an absolute thrill and a pleasure.
Thank you, Martin.
I've got a pint waiting somewhere.
You got right behind you.
And
Your
I'm
pint.
going to put it away faster than anything you've ever seen.
Faster than
What a
Masuaku.
wonderful-
Scoring a goal.
Faster than Masuaku thinking that he might be able to score against Chelsea.
Thank you, guys.
John, come in.
Wiggy.
Rob, you come in.
Right, first of all, let's talk about Iron Supporting Food Banks. How's it gone today?
It's gone very well. We were aiming to get about 240 quid, which would be 400 for the 2 games. And we reckon we've touched that, which means now we can go and spend £2,000 with his church, and they'll supply £2,000 worth of the food that Newham Food Bank need exactly. So we can go ahead with that in the week once the money's counted up. And that's really the ambition now. If we can get £400 a month or every couple of weeks, then that pays for £2,000 worth. So over a season, at least £20,000 of food that will be delivered to Newham Food Bank, and it's food that they are ordering that they need, that they're short of, and that's all come from the fans. So thanks everyone, it's been great. We've had a good donation of the advent calendars and selection boxes today. I think there's 70 or 80 which were dropped off today. The West Ham United Supporters Trust dropped off a bag full of surplus scarves, which they had, and they're being donated to Caritas Anchor House in the week. 50 or 60 in the bag there, so it's a win-win for a lot of people. And obviously this week we've been distributing the 600 scarves that we got from the club shop, and they've gone to a couple of hundred of those to Ark in the Park, a couple of hundred to Lola's Homeless in Canning Town, and 200 again to New Food Bank. So everyone's benefiting at the moment, just as this weather is turning in a lot colder. So yeah, it's been a lovely week.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, it's going from strength to strength, which is really good.
Yes.
And we've been talking to a couple of other groups, channels to do like we don't know what we're going to do, a 5-hour, 12-hour, 18-hour, 24-hour, a 1 week fundraiser. We don't know yet, but we're going to do something. So that's coming up.
Great to see. Yeah. Again, the backing we get from the fans, and it's the fans that make a difference.
Well, it's people like Wiggy who donate £50 a week. So didn't you say it was 50?
No, we didn't actually. Making me laugh like that. But we are going to get
the camera.
Sorry, there we are. We are going to get involved, and we are going to do some fundraising for you because we know. Why should anybody be short of anything?
Especially at Christmas.
At Christmas and now, we all take things for granted far too much. And I was locked up indoors with COVID for a little while, and I tell you, being isolated, but my only worry was running out of mince pies. We have more concerns than that. We need to look out for people and make sure that everybody has everything that they need.
Yeah, and for us, it's the kids at Christmas. They're the ones we focus on as well. The statistics show that you've got 43,000 kids living below the poverty line. 43,000, and a lot of them are going to get nothing at Christmas time.
Yeah.
So
there was a small thing that happened today that when we were in the stadium. One of the stewards came over, and there were a couple of small children, that were right by us. And the steward came over, and we thought there was going to be a bit of a problem with it. And he said to us, I've seen the children there, and they can't really see. He said, if you want to come up and stand at the back here,
a new approach to stewardship.
He said, then the children can see across, and the children can see. And it was so nice because those children are, they're the future of West Ham.
Yeah.
I'm just worried. Can they still hear us then?
Yeah.
Anton, speak. Can you hear us? Oh, look, Howard,
Yes,
mate,
we
he's
can.
been good.
Tenner.
He's been very generous. He's donated 20 quid the other day on my show, and he's just donated another tenner. So Howard, we'll make sure we'll get that 30 quid.
Thanks, Howard.
Less taxes and less West Ham Network
Thank you, mate.
admin costs.
Yeah.
So we'll send you that fiver when we're ready.
So you owe us £1.
But
We'll wait for the sales then.
basically, we will do some
Thank you, Howard.
fundraising for you.
Smashing. That's great.
Yeah.
And we won, so it's
That's
brilliant.
great.
Well, let's get back to. So come on, the game. Go on.
Well, yeah,
Tell us.
I mean, I was disappointed. I think we gave them too much respect in that first half. Far too much
Yes.
respect. Okay, having said that, in Moyes we trust. But really, we equalised at the right time. That second goal that they scored right at the end, I think, was the second.
Felt like a killer.
But then, even then,
It was.
it was a good goal, yeah. But then, you've got 45 minutes after that. So, they said the right things. We were getting stretched with injuries. They came out with a fighting spirit. But Chelsea couldn't step it up another gear. That was their level. So we kept chipping away, and Bowen just ran and ran
He's
and
dynamite.
ran.
He's my
Mr.
man.
George,
He's my hammer of the season. at the
He
moment.
just chased everything.
Bowen pulled us up by his laces.
Yeah.
He did.
And you said Rice, but we expect that from Rice.
Yeah, but it just seemed to have a little bit more about him today. I don't know if it was because it was
Declan or Bowen?
no, Declan. He did because Declan. He just seemed there was like from the off there was a lot more, just a lot more like swagger about him today. He had a bit of a swagger, like I'm going to, because obviously he's up against his mate and it's Chelsea. It was almost like, right, I'm going to have a go.
You don't think maybe he was getting ready for that transfer offer from Chelsea, did you? Which is why he had the swagger.
Yeah.
But Masuaku today,
Stop! Don't! Just don't. Look, we won. I'm happy that he scored.
I'm happy that he actually mishit that kick. It went in. Let's not go any further than that.
Yeah.
Arthur.
There were suggestions
That he might be a demigod.
that the Right Honourable Stell might
I won't
strip a
lie.
little and run around the.
I won't lie.
around the
When
Olympic Park.
Arthur scored,
When
Arthur scored, I ran the length. I ran the length of the Bobby Moore lower and back. I was so shocked. I needed something to take the energy out of my body. It's like, what? Arthur scored.
Oh, look, we've got the quarantined one.
Who's that?
Stay, get the bills.
Get the beers in.
I've been asked to.
Yeah, Nigel,
So-
you're on COVID watch, mate. So sorry.
Oh, I believe so. Yeah. Caddingtown Led says cheers, by the way.
Yeah.
Where is Len?
He's in there holding the table.
Holding the table, right.
All right. Well, it's a bit cold out here.
It is getting a bit cold, so you've had your lot. So go on.
Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for the support.
Well, listen, that's been live from the Supporters Club. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back to show Stell Youth received a mountain of abuse in this chat today, and I hope you
I
look
don't
back
give
and
a
enjoy
shit
it.
whether I received abuse or not, to be
Keep
quite
it
honest
coming.
with you. Kid, look, what is that? What? Look, everyone all of a sudden thinks Arthur's some sort of like hero.
I must have texted Stell about 2 seconds after that happened to the WhatsApp group. Stellios!
Listen, look, am I happy that he scored? Yes.
Yes.
Am I happy that we won? Absolutely. Am I happy that we beat Chelsea without a shadow of a doubt?
Yeah.
We needed this. Where you gotta go? All right,
They're all going home.
I'll talk to you later.
I'm happy that we've got the points without a shadow of a doubt. Look, I mean, look, people are still cheering. People are still cheering.
Love it. Love it. Right.
It's been a cracker.
It's
an
been
absolute
emotional.
cracker. So it's getting cold. We got to go. What is that?
That's Masuaku. King Masuaku.
Listen, don't overdo it. You know, he scored a point. We won the game. That's
Brilliant, excellent, lads. Go and enjoy your night. Go and enjoy your drinks.
Can't hear you. But then again, that's not a bad thing.
We'll see you
Right.
later, man.
Take it easy. Cheers. Bye. There you go, live from the Supporters Club. Hope you all enjoyed that. That brings you to the end of our highlights show, Matchday highlights all over the shop. But it was good fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. I can't believe it. We've got 3 points, but we can't end the show there. We have to end it with one thing and one thing only. I'm just getting it up for you, so just give me a second before I go. So many comments. I tried my best to put them all up. King Arthur, there you go. Watched it in West London pub. Loved it. Absolutely, mate. It's huge, and we are huge everywhere we go. Let's see if I can get this up for you as we speak, and it's coming up for you. 2 seconds. Here it is. You ready to see this? There you go. We are massive everywhere we go. There is the Premier League table. What a bounce back for West Ham. 4 points clear of 5th place. 5 points clear of 6th place. Yes, we have got... I have to put the heating on. Nigel, it's freezing. It is freezing. But yeah, we've picked up a couple of injuries. Let's see what Moyes can do. It's over to you now, Moyes, and let's see what happens. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you haven't, hit thumbs down. Leave a comment, but subscribe. We're on the march to 10,000 subscribers, and thank you for joining us. Yes, maybe we'll do a player ratings later on. You never know. Keep an eye on the channel, and we'll see what happens. Come on, you irons.